All right, this video is going to be more of a podcast than a video, as the editing probably won't be up to scratch, but I did want to do a video prior to Game 5 of the WNBA Championship. My best laid plans to make a proper video sort of got interrupted last night as my daughter hit a kangaroo. And if you don't know, a kangaroo could make a mess out of your car. It's much like hitting a deer, but everybody's all right. Well, the kangaroo didn't come off very well, unfortunately, but it's as good as it can be. Now, before we start, if you enjoy the content, then please consider subscribing. We're getting close to 10K. As well, if you like the video, then please give it a like. As well, your comments are always welcome. All right, here we go. So, Game 5 will be on Sunday. I was really happy Ionescu missed that last second shot, as this series seems like it deserves 5 games, although I'm pretty sure Liberty fans are disappointed. One thing was very clear. Sandy Brondello was very, very pissed off after the game. She felt like her team got a bad whistle.
But look, I will say this, and I look at the thing here, and I know Cheryl talked about it last time, but we got no calls today. So do I need to talk up in a press conference? Because they were getting ticky-tacks, and we went down there, then got hit and get nothing. It was like 12-6 at half-time, and they tried to even it up near the end. It was 14-9. No, all we want is fair. Okay, so if we're getting hit, that's a foul. You know, and I'm one of the nicest bloody coaches in this league, but this pisses me off. Just be fair. You know, if they're getting hit, it's a bloody foul.
She dropped an F-bomb as well, was apologetic for that. But yeah, it just made me laugh because I know when my wife is pissed off, who's Australian, a bloody comes out for sure. I know the S is about to hit the fan. Somebody's done something very wrong. If the, I guess, adjective would be an adjective before what it is, but when the word bloody comes out, yeah, something has gone very badly wrong. So, but the question for me is, I thought once again, New York had a chance to put away this game. And if I had one complaint about New York, 2 things at the end of the game. They once again, I pointed out in my video after Game 1, when they had a chance to go for the jugular and they had an advantage of 5-on-4, Sabrina Ionescu pulled up the ball in the corner, and I think it was Heidemann that had fallen down. It was either Heidemann or McBride, I think, from memory. But they just really didn't attack when they had the advantage. And much like that game, when it was 80-80, Collier had gone down and Stewart got the ball, and instead of pushing it, she gave it to Lainey Hamilton, and they just sort of walked it up and allowed Collier to get in position. And it wouldn't have been precisely a 2-for-1, but there were around 50 seconds left, and I was just like, it's 80-80. Push that ball up there, take advantage of the 5-on-4 and see if you can get a quick, easy basket or a mismatch. But they didn't do that. And then after they got the rebound and the ball got kicked out, I just couldn't understand it. They kicked it out to Ionescu, and they had a mismatch. So they had Alana Smith on Ionescu, and I think it was McBride guarding Stewie. And straight away, Ionescu gave away the mismatch. So I thought Ionescu sort of did like a dribble handoff almost, giving the ball to Stewie, which allowed them to switch back and put McBride back on Ionescu and Stewart to match up with Stewie. So they much rather, or Smith to match up on Stewie. And yeah, that was a big mistake in my opinion. I didn't understand why Ionescu didn't spread it out and try to take Alana Smith off the one-on-one and take her chances with that, or throw back, and then Stewie would have had the mismatch on McBride potentially. But no, she dribbled to the pick and roll to allow them to switch. It just made no sense to me. And that being said, it's hard at the end of the game. Things are going quickly, and the whole trick of it is to try to stay controlled, calm, to make an informed decision. And obviously, Brondello wanted the timeout, and she was screaming for the timeout but couldn't get it, and then she was pissed off about that.
And call a timeout. What are you thinking there? What are you seeing in terms of where the offense is spaced?
Yeah, I actually was trying to call a timeout, but they didn't hear me, so that's on me. But yeah, wasn't our best possession. It was loud in here. I don't know, maybe I just have to sprint out in the middle of the court next time, so I got to be better.
That and the referees after the game. So it has a feel of one that got away from New York. Like that was their game to put away. They had the Lynx on the rope. You could feel it, and they just couldn't quite finish it off. And you can look at this one of two ways. If you're New York, you're like, hey, we got the one we needed to get. We got the one victory there. We've earned home court. We go back home. It'll be crazy in the Bronx, and yeah, we'll get our win there on the home court. Or if you're a Lynx fan, like I thought it was telling afterwards, Cheryl Reeve was like, we've won already because we've taken this to a game 5. Now, she was just like, I'm so proud. She was basically saying, I'm glad they get a chance to experience a game 5. Like, that's a victory already. And she's right. Like, it would have been devastating if they would have lost on their home court. They don't have to worry about that now. So in a lot of ways, I think the pressure goes back on the Liberty because they've got a pressure to close the series, and it could go one of two ways. If the Liberty come out with their A game, it all goes their way. You could see a blowout, but the other way you can see it is if it gets tight, the noose, almost like what happened to the Lynx as it got tight, you can feel it can be almost more pressure at home, and that's the worry for the New York Liberty. In Game 5, I'm going into a Game 5. I'm pretty happy that I have Cheryl Reeve as my coach. I like Sandy Brondello, but I'm taking Cheryl Reeve over Sandy Brondello in a Game 5. The other big thing, obviously, in a series are the superstars. So Nafisa Collier versus Brianna Stewart, and that matchup has been fantastic, and it's almost a line ball. I would say, looking at it, that Collier has gotten slightly the better of it. Like, Stewie went off on the one game, and that was important, and Stewie's been doing a good job on defense. But if you look at their numbers, it's pretty interesting. So far through 4 games, Stewie has averaged 20 points, shooting 33.75% from the floor, 28% from the three-point line. Her effective field goal shooting percentage is 45%. Versus Collier. Collier is averaging 18 points during the series. Her field goal percentage, she's shooting 50% from the floor, 42% from the three-point line. She's only taken 7 three-pointers, and her effective field goal shooting percentage is 57%. So I'd say overall, Collier numbers are better, and it's a line ball call. And these two are almost canceling each other out in a lot of ways, I would say. But whoever plays better in that last game, and if Nafisa Collier goes off, then this series, that's why this series is so good, is that there's just no clear indication. I can't believe how wrong my video was where I said, it's a done deal, New York's going to win this. No, it's not. The real equalizer of this series so far, or the biggest thing to happen, was Alana Smith's back injury, and that she was able to gut it out and play game 4 and be enough. Now the question is, did New York Liberty miss their chance when Alana Smith did not look good in that? She missed a layup and was limping a little bit, but she was able to gut it through, play around 30 minutes. Well, the extra few days, will that even make her even fresher and better, more recovered from the back injury? And does that really give the Lynx a good shot? And did New York miss their real chance to put away the Lynx when they had it? That would be my fear if I was a Liberty fan. But you just never know going into Game 5, because it could just be any role player. Phoebich could go off. Laney Hamilton could go off. It could be Thornton. You just never know. Just the bizarre thing. Same thing for the Lynx. Zandalicini could go off. Maybe they go to Dorka a little bit. She gets some rebounds. Like, she's not going to be a scoring threat. But that's the fun of it. Just it's a one-take-all, obviously, and who is going to be the difference maker? It could be Courtney Williams. That does Courtney Williams go off, or does Anescu go off? That is the fun of it, to see how it shapes out. Obviously, everybody wants a good game, and it will just depend. But I think either way, I do think Cheryl Reeve is right in that the Minnesota Lynx have already won already, as their whole lineup will be intact for next year. Like, they're all under contract, so they're not losing anybody. The only question is who they're going to protect. So they'll protect the 6. They should have everybody back. I think the only one that's not protect or under contract is Hines Allen. So that would be they're young. They would expect to be back if they can stay healthy. Same thing, New York. You can feel the pressure, and I would think we might add another coach. If the Liberty don't win the championship, I wonder if Brondello is going to be fired after the game. not directly after, but after time, I wonder if they're going to say, no, we need another coach to get us over the top. We've given her 2 years. It's harsh, not fair, probably, but that seems to be the way of the WNBA now. It's WNBA. It's almost like the NFL, not for long league. Get out of here. If you don't give us our championship, then you're gone. Since these teams know each other so well already, like they'll try to get mismatches, Jones on Heidemann or whoever they can get their mismatch on. That's the whole game plan is. And can Alana Smith, can she hold up? Is that back going to hold up against Jones? Keep her under control. And which guard gets off? Will it be Courtney Williams? Will it be Ionescu? Could McBride have a big game? Does Lainey Hamilton get off? So it'll just be fun to watch. I think the Liberty will win, but I mean I wouldn't put money on this game for sure. I wonder if the crowd is going to overwhelm the Lynx, but if it gets tight and it's a close game in the fourth quarter, I think if you're a Lynx fan, if you're within 5 in the fourth quarter, I think you'll be happy with where things are at. Or even if you have a lead, I think the pressure will build on the Lynx, and it'll be interesting to watch. So enough pregame talk. I hope both teams have a good game. I hope it's a great game. It deserves it for the series that's been had so far. Looking forward to watching it and reviewing the game afterwards. All right, have a great night.